GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up. We're Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is he? How good is he? Let's get it. GMGP. It is Feel Good Friday. It is Football Friday. And y'all know we're going to be freaky and we ain't going to have nothing up today. It is Friday, September 5th, 2025. I appreciate each and every eye, each and every ear in the building. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. HK Survivor in the building. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hayden Hendricks in the building. What's going on with you, Adam? MV Prof. Keegan in the building. Tyler Trout. You know what it is, baby. GMGP. Bless up to you as well. Cold World TDE in the building. James Young. Scribble. Tyson. GMGP. Javante. Now, what? We're going to talk about it, man. Cowboys. Eagles. We got a lot to get through. Injury news. People in. Players out. We got the people in the building. Jay Rich, how you doing this morning, baby?
To be honest, Ray, I'm a little tired, man. That hour-long delay.
Old man
Richards.
Got me. Old man Richards. Stop it.
See, here's the problem, is that I like to get up early in the morning and go to the gym. But if the NFL decides to have an hour-long delay, I still need to get up at the same time to start my day and get through all the things I want to get through before I get to this show. So it's a little annoying. Yeah. And especially for the fact that they had the delay. It was 24-20. The game ended 24-20. I could have just went to sleep.
The NFL is not catering the football schedule around your time to go to the gym. So
it would be nice.
Everybody is sorry that you were unable to do that with full sleep under your belt, but we appreciate you being in the building. We will talk about the Cowboys game, the Cowboys-Eagles. We got the people in the building, Jay Rich. But just want to let some folks know, if you did miss the show between myself and Bleacher Report scout Damian Parson, check it out. We went live on, what was that, Wednesday, Jay Rich? We went live, talked through some players to watch here. Week 2 of the college football season, big game between Michigan and Oklahoma. That's like the premier matchup this weekend. John Mateer versus Bryce Underwood in Oklahoma, so make sure you're watching Saturday night. That's the ABC game, and I may do something after that game, may not, but we will keep you posted. All things college football right here on the channel every week. Whether we go live or not, we got you covered from a college football landscape. Check out all the other content on DDFFB. There was a crossover episode between Scott Connor and Dynasty Theory. Mitch and John were on there. Scott and Shane, really, really good fantasy football information. Check that out on the DDFFB channel. But Jay Rich, we do have some news to get to before we get to the game. So what do we have right now? What do we have going on, man?
Yeah, so I'll run through the news as quick as possible so we can get to some of the games. Feel free to stop me as we go along. Yep. We will start with my Patriots because it's important to note that Christian Gonzalez is very unlikely to play in this matchup against the Raiders. And it makes me think, Ray, maybe some Deontae Thornton dart throws in some deep leagues could be worth a shot. Myles Garrett popped up on the injury report yesterday and did not practice, so that's a big concern, especially if you want the Browns to win this matchup, as I did when we went head-to-head in our picks on Bleacher Report yesterday. On the Miami Dolphins front, Tyreek Hill and Achane both logged limited practices yesterday, so should be fine to play. Achane also came out and said he's 100%.
That's what he said.
I don't know if I'm buying that, but I will take his word for it. Mike McDaniel also said about rookie running back Ollie Gordon, he'll have 0 plays or all the plays, 0 yards or all the yards, or somewhere in between. What does that tell you, Ray, about Ollie Gordon's participation in this matchup against the Indianapolis Colts?
Mike McDaniel has to be trolling at this point, man. He's when I saw this, Jay, when I read it, when I saw it, I was like, what? What is he? Here's the quote right here. Ollie will have 0 plays or all the plays, 0 yards or all the yards, or somewhere in between. What is this, Jay?
This is the NFL, baby. It's that
what does this mean?
Gamesmanship. They don't want to tip their hand, I guess. I don't know, man. I think Ollie's the backup. Maybe some goal line work. Like, I feel like we can project what Ollie's workload is going to be. Maybe 8 to 10 carries. Maybe some goal line work sprinkled in. A reception or 2. But
save the predictions for later, Jay. I've got.
Okay. This got some hot takes loaded.
Save the predictions, man. Save the predictions. What else we got news-wise, Jay?
All right, so Mike Evans with a DMP on Thursday, but it's projected to be just rest. One of the bigger notes, at least for me, because I didn't know he was practicing, was Cade Otton logged a full practice, so he's expected to play over some concerns earlier in the week of him not playing. Should be good to go. Elijah Vera-Tucker, the Jets guard, is going to miss the entire season with that torn tricep. That was confirmed after we did the show, of course. Darnell Mooney for the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver logged a limited practice, and apparently, according to beat reporters, there is an outside shot he could play in this matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a bit surprising to me. I thought he'd be out. Ray, your boy, Ikem Ekwonu, may miss the matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars, left tackle for the Carolina Panthers, because he had an appendectomy on September 1st, and he is doubtful currently to play. Yeah, that's not good if you want Bryce Young to get victory against the Jags. Jauan Jennings restructured his contract, got $3 million in incentives. Don't know if that's a victory, but he will take it, and he is back on the field and practicing. Logged a limited practice on Thursday.
He looked good.
Should be full go.
I saw those Jennings clips. Y'all told me Jennings was hurt, man. Y'all told me Jennings was hurt. He looked good out there, Jay.
He did look good, and a player who is not looking so good is Christian McCaffrey, who popped up on the injury report with, you guessed it, a calf injury. NFL insider Tom Pelissero this morning. I will say this cautiously. I do not get the sense, based on the conversations I've had, that there are any alarm bells going off about Christian McCaffrey at this point. If there is any player you're going to take precautions with, it feels like something in practice, it's going to be arguably your best player. All reports have been, Ray, this is precautionary. There is no concern over Christian McCaffrey's calf injury, but he did pop up on the injury report. So I ask you, my friend, what is your concern level right now with Christian McCaffrey? Oh boy.
Jay Rich, I don't like it. I don't like it. There's nothing you could do at this point. You've drafted him. You got him ready to go. You're going to fire him up in your lineups. There's no trade happening. You're playing your Christian McCaffrey. Hell yeah. Isn't this the same stuff they said last year? And as I'm reading more, they said after that practice, he didn't do his normal post-practice press conference. Nowhere to be found. Just off to nurse that calf injury. How could you not be a little concerned? I'm not saying it's...
You got to be concerned.
How can you not be concerned, man? And then what did I say when they made the move for Brian Robinson? I said, I bet you this is more than just pure backup depth. I don't think they're gonna. Yeah. I don't think they're just gonna give him the ball like that. If the ultimate
But you
goal,
also said you didn't think it would impact his workload, and it sounds like you're almost now backing off that stance a little bit.
I don't think it right now. I'm not going to say it's impacting his workload. I still think the same scheme, the same plan is going to be deployed for San Francisco. But to sit up here and say that hearing him with calf injuries popping up on the injury report, we know everything that happened last year, like you're not concerned, that's a lie. I am. This is the risk. This is the risk you took when you drafted him. So what do you think? How do you think it plays out? I mean, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to be out there. If he's out there, he's going to be pretty good.
Well, you're starting him either way, right? You already said it. You drafted him in the first round. You held him in Dynasty. You're playing him. There's no player with a bigger range of outcomes probably this season than Christian McCaffrey on a week-to-week basis. Sure, he's got this calf injury, but if he's starting, What, are you going to start Brian Robinson over him? Are you going to start Ollie Gordon over him? Of course not. So you're going to start Christian McCaffrey, but definitely there's reason for concern. Micah Parsons also logged limited practice for the Packers. There was some concerns about the back injury. Seems like he's going to play. We don't know the snap count, but obviously for fantasy purposes doesn't really matter, but should be on the field making an impact for the Packers against Detroit. Christian Kirk, Ray, expected to be sidelined this week with a hamstring injury. How do you feel about your Jalen Nailor takes over Jaden Higgins? Because, Ray, this gives them just a little bit of life. Would you be picking up Jalen Nailor off some waivers? Maybe he can come in, make an impact against the Rams this week. How do you think this impacts the Texans as a whole?
I mean, I wasn't expecting Christian Kirk to do much anyway, to be honest with you. Every time we talked about the Texans, we talk about Nico Collins. We talk about who's going to run the ball. Here's my thought, man. Last night, Jaden Blue was inactive. No injury, just a healthy scratch. You ain't ready to get on the field. You know what I was thinking last night? All of those magic beans for the rookies, those joints about to spoil rotten come week one. All this Jalen Nailor, it's going to be Dalton Schultz. All these rookies that we think are going to touch the ball, it's going to be Devin Singletary behind Tyrone Tracy. I think all the rookie hype and hopium, those beans are about to rot. My expectation for Jalen Nailor is still 0. If he gets some playing time, great. I'll assess after week one. If I had to give a stock up to anybody, it's Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz.
Okay, yeah, and the only reason I brought it up, honestly, is because of Stephon Diggs last year, right? Like, Stephon Diggs actually was very valuable. He was the slot
and here's
guy.
The thing.
Maybe there is value in the slot role.
He and Jalen Nailor aren't even in the same stratosphere as far as prioritizing getting the ball to. So I
got to get the ball to somebody, right? And then they do have a new OC, right? They have a new OC this year, so we're going to see how this offense works. But then last but not least, Isaiah Likely obviously didn't practice, not going to play Sunday Night Football. But Khalil Shakir, Ray, was a full participant yesterday, should be again today, should be good to go for the Bills. Do you have any concerns about starting him as, let's say, a wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 4 in a flex this week against the Baltimore Ravens?
No.
Okay.
All right, you said, do I buy Isaiah Likely as a flex?
No. Khalil Shakir.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any concerns about him, right?
Sure.
High ankle sprain coming off of that. Playing against Baltimore.
Sure, concerns, but he's probably in that range where you're banking on him or some of these rookies, right? Am I putting Kyle Williams out there over Khalil Shakir? No.
It's like Matthew Golden or Khalil Shakir, I think is probably around the same range.
If I've got Golden, I would put Golden in, but they're in the same range. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm very negative Nancy today on a lot of these later round rookies. I'm real negative Nancy today, Jay Rich. What else did we have?
That's it. That's the bulk of the news. Major headlines I've seen so far. A lot of the small little injury stuff, some of the bigger players that could impact fantasy as well on the defensive side and the offensive line. But yeah, that's the major stuff.
Marcus said he's not buying that Blue was a healthy scratch.
Think he's hurt?
He said he might be a little hurt. I'm buying. I mean, listen, his ass was a healthy scratch. Like, if he was a scratch, he didn't play, right? And everything that I read, it made sense. They said he can't pass protect. He doesn't know where to go. He's not ready to do that, so you can't be on the field.
He's young.
He's young. Like, I don't think that's not damning his career. That's not saying that he's a certified bum, but not ready to play week one. So that hopium for, I just think that's going to be the reality with a lot of these rookies. We're going to look back on week one and be like, all right, let me go. Would it shock you at all, Jay Rich? We're here talking about Woody Marks in Houston. Would it shock you at all if Dare Ogunbowale was just out there and that's the dude? I mean, people
to
are
be
like,
honest, they like him there. They were playing him over Dameon Pierce.
The narrative has been like Woody season, right? Would it shock you if we get out there and he gets 2 damn opportunities? And it's Chubb, it's Ogunbowale, and it's Dameon Pierce, and Woody Marks gets. It wouldn't shock me, man. We're here. It's time to start winning games, and some of these guys are. Every rookie is different. Every situation is different, but those beans are about to spoil rotten after week one, Jay Rich.
Ray, do you have any thoughts about the Amari Cooper retirement? Sorry, the chat reminded me of
Amari
Cooper's sudden retirement.
I had a couple of pieces of news up, man, that you didn't touch on, man. But yeah, Coop is gone. Pour one out for old Coop, man. Pour one out for Coop. People were Dynasty Daddy was showing off some trades that people were making for that Amari Cooper over the last couple of days. I saw one where somebody gave up Jalen Waddle for Cooper in a third.
What?
Yeah, no good.
What? Is it 2019?
People were buying.
That's crazy.
The reports, the first thing is people were saying he was a little out of shape in those practice clips that they saw. They were saying that was big Amari Cooper out there. And then the report after this was Deontae Thornton is going to be a big part of this offense. Jay Rich, this is the guy since the draft we have been very bullish on Deontae Thornton. Not that the Amari Cooper retirement increases his value any, but do you think that Thornton can really command a usable role in this offense from the start? Talking about rookies and hope and hype. Do you think that's one that you are willing to buy?
Absolutely. And it's not because of what I think he's going to do from like a yardage per week basis. But if you're a guy who is going to be a downfield threat, and I've talked a lot about how he seems like the guy who is groomed, or at least they're trying to groom to be Pete Carroll's new DK Metcalf, it may only be 4 or 5 targets a game. It may only be 2 or 3 targets a game. But those targets are probably going down the field, and even Gino's already shown he's willing to throw to him in the end zone. Brock Bowers is a great end zone weapon, but Jacoby Myers, not so much. So if you're telling me that Brock Bowers is number 1 and Deontae Thornton is number 2 in the red zone, that's a pretty good role for a young player who was, a 4th or 5th round pick? Like, I'll take that all day. It's not going to be a massive target share, but the targets he does get are probably going to come down the field, which is what you want from a player who's young, fast, and can generate big plays.
Oh, man. Brandon saying they love Dare, and he's a captain. Oh, shit.
He's probably a big special teams guy, Ray. Special teams captain. I don't know.
I'm just prepared, fully prepared for the Darway Agumbawale as the pass catching back. Yeah. They do like him. Jay Rich, we didn't mention big money getting paid out. Nick Bonito.
Big money.
4-year extension. Did you see his Instagram post? His IG live after he got paid?
No.
That was pretty cool. That's a dude that was like, he was pretty happy. He was pretty pumped from, coming from where he came. He wasn't a highly drafted guy to work his way into one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. Shout out to Nick Bonito, man. Good stuff for Bonito. Get your star edge rusher locked up and paid before he
Cam Ward.
Before he faces off against Cam Ward at home in that matchup against
anyone with those Cam Ward
Tennessee.
Beans. It's
and
we may talk about it.
Did you see the news? Did you see the report about the Jets? Jay Richards this is groundbreaking news right here. Per all people around the Jets, they plan to have their offense follow a run-heavy, keep-away style offense.
They're throwing it back to the 50s, Ray. Let's go. Run the ball, play good defense, score 20 points a game, and go 4-13. Let's go, Jets.
I don't want to be cute here, but Breece Hall, you're starting him full confidence, right? You're starting Breece this week, full confidence.
It depends.
Yes.
For me, it depends on how deep. I have a league right now where I have to choose between Breece, ETN, and Henderson. And I really don't know who I want to go with because Breece still has the Steelers, right? ETN has the Carolina Panthers, and I love Henderson. And the matchup against the Raiders is actually pretty good. So you're starting Henderson probably, but that's another decision I have to make. And I'm like, that's probably not uncommon. Like, you could draft Breece Hall in like the 5th or 6th and draft ETN in the 8th or 9th. And it's like, if you believe ETN can be the starter, why wouldn't you start him over Breece Hall? Because the matchup is so much better. Even if both of them are in split backfields, I'd probably would still lean ETN.
I think you could start, if you've got Breece, if you've got Braylon Allen, if you've got Fields, I'm firing them up. I just think they're going to run the damn ball. Like, this is what this offense is going to be.
Steelers defense is going to be good, though, man. It's going to be good.
I get it, but it's a low game. Unless you said you're deep, like you've got all those options, I'm still probably starting those guys. And Jay Rich, listen, man, I want to give you, let's get into the Cowboys game. Let's get into the Cowboys game, and then we'll do some other fun stuff. Dallas Cowboys lost last night, 20-24. Jay Rich's game looked like it was going to be a barn burner early. I mean, it was. There were no punts, no punters around. There was just score. Dak Prescott Jalen Hurts. So before we get into the stats, just your thoughts about this game, opening night, week 1, and the spit heard and saw around the world.
Yeah, once Jalen Carter's had to spit on Dak Prescott, the first thing I thought is, man, we got ourselves a ball game. Like 100%. Without Jalen Carter, this game was going to be drastically different. What an
idiot. And what an idiot. Like, seriously, what an idiot, dude.
He is not going to beat those character concern allegations that dropped him to what, the 9th or 10th overall pick when he could have easily been in the top 4
He's
or
not
5?
beating the allegations. No way. He's not beating the allegations.
But yeah, that was so interesting because it changed the entire dynamic of the game, and the Cowboys obviously just like ran the ball down their throats with Javonte Williams on that first drive. And then from that point on, Philly had to keep answering and answering and answering. But it's such a weird game because it started so hot and it was so somber and slow at the end. Maybe it was because of that hour-long delay. The players couldn't like get back up and into the flow of the game. But I think as a whole, I thought Dallas played really well, Ray. I really did. As someone who expected Philly's defense to be good, I thought they were worse than expected. Now, Jalen Carter is a massive part of that, and we can't forget that. But even still, Dallas didn't move the ball overly effectively, or at least not as effectively as I thought they would. But I think I could say the same thing about Philly. Philly started hot, but if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts being one of the best scramblers in the league, I think they have a significantly different outcome. When you hold Saquon Barkley to 60 yards, Jahan Dotson is the leading receiver. Dallas Goedert catches 7 passes. A.J. Brown has 1. DeVonta Smith has 3, and they combine for 24 yards. That's a massive victory against this Philadelphia team. Like, they still have one of the most explosive, one of the best offenses in the NFL, and a great offensive line that still looked pretty average against this Dallas defensive line that was without Micah Parsons and the insertion of Clark. So the question for you is, going forward with both of these teams, and feel free to touch on the game if you want, is how do you feel the trajectory of both these teams is heading into week 2?
I would say both of the teams, I think, let's start with the Eagles who won the game. I was not overly impressed with Philadelphia. And I saw a lot of Eagles fans saying, give this team time. They're adjusting to new coordinators. The offense was super vanilla. It was very vanilla. Now, I think the football side of that, because a lot of people are reacting to Jalen Hurts. Oh, he sucked. A.J. Brown couldn't get open. This passing attack. Well, let me read this stat about the Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense deployed zone coverage on all 33 of Jalen Hurts dropbacks. Listen to what I just said. Zone coverage, all 33 of Jalen Hurts' dropbacks. Every last one of them, right? In their week 1 loss to the Eagles. Only the second team to do that in a game since the start of the 2024 season. Buffalo did it week 13 last year. The Cowboys utilized zone coverage on more than 80% in the dropbacks in just one game all of last season. Jay Rich, they never did that. They never even went above 80% zone coverage in all of the games last year. It was very obvious watching this game, they had no pass rush, right? They could not get after the quarterback. The only time they got after the quarterback is when they started sending corner blitzes. They were sending 4, dropping 8, just saying, hey, you're not going to beat us over the top. If you're going to run around, if you're going to throw a quick game, cool. But we're not giving up the big play. And you know what Jalen Hurts and Philly said? Fine. You want to drop everybody back in zone? I'm just going to run around. Now, what did that mean for the offensive weapons? Nothing for A.J. Brown. Nothing for DeVonta Smith. Dallas Goedert was the beneficiary, and Saquon Barkley had 5 receptions himself, right?
Yeah.
But creativity, there was none. The most creative play that I saw from Philly last night was Jahan Dotson down the field, right? They motioned Saquon outside one time and threw it to him, but outside of that, there were no easy targets for A.J. Brown. It was just even Saquon's runs were just kind of up the middle. Run him up the middle, see what he can do.
Make a play.
It was very, very basic bitch from Philadelphia, but it's week 1. It's week 1. Like, these offenses aren't going to be running full speed here in week 1. So, that was my take from the Philadelphia side. I'm with you. Landon Dickerson went out early. He got hurt, and they had to replace Dickerson. I don't think their offensive line played overly well. as far as creating rushing lanes, but they got the job done. But it was just a very vanilla, bland offense from Philadelphia, and I thought the same from Dallas. Javonte Williams was fine. He looked fine, and this is why Dallas is not they don't draft running backs. Like, we'll take this guy. He's good enough in our scheme. Miles Sanders dropped the ball, but outside of that, he was able to find space. Like, it was good enough for Dallas. And I thought Dak was sharp. I thought Dak was way better than the final stat line. CeeDee Lamb went out there and got his 7 for 110. He easily could add CeeDee Lamb should have had 10 catches he should have had close to 200 receiving yards last night, but he couldn't catch the ball. George Pickens did exactly what we thought he would do. He'd be the downfield guy. They couldn't connect on a couple of passes. PI one time they threw down the field to the end zone. Dak overshot him a little bit. There were a lot of people after the game saying they got to move him around a little bit more. They just parked him on the outside and said, run go routes. You're going to run go routes, and CeeDee Lamb is going to be the one to motion around the field. I thought it was encouraging from the offensive side of the ball with Dallas.
Yeah, I thought Dallas played really well. And I think what was most surprising, obviously, was the offensive line played pretty strong, especially in the first half. Like, I understand they lost Milton Williams, they lost Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter was kicked out of the game. Like, it's a massive undertaking to replace all those guys, especially when one of them was supposed to play in that contest, and they literally ran right up his gap like 4 or 5 times on drives in that first half. But even with that, it added balance to the Cowboys. It freed up the passing game a little bit because they had to account for the Cowboys' ability to run. And let's be honest, they looked more explosive in the rushing attack than the Eagles did. Yeah, Jalen Hurts made some big plays and Saquon Barkley got loose on a couple, but like, if you're comparing those guys to Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, like Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders went toe-to-toe with those guys for the entire game, and it really came down to a couple plays here or there that weren't converted, and the biggest one, obviously, is that massive post route to CeeDee Lamb that he didn't catch. If he catches that, Dallas is right there, the 25-yard line with a minute to go and every opportunity to score to potentially win this game. And I just thought the execution was good on both sides at times, but I still think Philly, they need to be better, and it's hard because they have another coordinator again for another season, and they did start slow last year, and we talked about it a lot, and I think they will be better, but you just hope to see a little bit sharper from them because they're playing against this Dallas defense that we know really struggled last year, and this is the Eberflus effect. Like, I have to give Gil Gallant from Action Network, he does touchdown props for them. Gil. He talked about how Eberflus runs mostly cover 3 and a ton of zone, and that's what he's going to do probably against Philly. And that's exactly what happened. He was targeting Dallas Goedert for that exact reason.
All 33 of Hurts' dropbacks, he faced zone. They didn't even attempt to run man coverage, Jay Rich.
No.
If you want to throw it underneath, then that's fine. And Dallas Goedert was a beneficiary. He was a beneficiary.
And that's the takeaway for me going forward is, one, rushing quarterbacks, because of the personnel that Dallas has currently, probably will feast if they continue to play this zone style, but you need to account for the tight ends. And the tight ends are probably going to have good games against this team, and maybe the receivers struggle a little bit. But, I mean, when you look at the DBs and you look at the front, which, again, a little bit undermanned, I still thought they played well enough. And Eberflus had a game plan that was ready for the Eagles, and they held them to a score that is respectable. And he did his job. They couldn't quite get it done offensively, but I thought that Dallas played a great game. And while, yes, we're still mourning the Micah Parsons effect on this team, like, I think they're headed in a much better direction than we expected going into this Philly game.
Let me give you some more numbers about Dallas's run defense versus Philly last night. The Eagles rushed for 18 yards on 12 carries between the tackles against the Cowboys, averaging 1.5 yards per carry. Before contact, the Eagles averaged negative 0.9 yards per carry, the lowest average in any game since 2017. Last year, they averaged 1.6 yards before contact per carry on inside runs, the 8th most in the NFL. That Kenny Clark and Osa in the middle. Like, it, to your point, had Saquon not scored and caught those 5 passes to help out, I mean, he kind of would have stunk it up.
Because he was the only guy open. Like, he was the only guy open.
The underneath stuff. This was a weird game, man. Like, because Dak didn't finish. He's not going to finish. Dak's going to be outside the top, 20 quarterbacks on the week? 40, 30 quarterbacks?
Straight yardage, no rushing yards.
No rushing yards, no touchdowns, but he played so much better than the final stat line. I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb, and honestly, It's the three guys. It's Lamb. Ferguson had 5 for 23. Probably should have had a touchdown. It would have been a tough catch.
Yeah.
He would have got his block knocked off, but catch the ball. And then Pickens, PI'd on the one deep pass, and then a little out of range on the downfield outside pass. Not really concerned about the Cowboys' weapons. I think defensively, they're still going to be a liability. So teams are going to be able to put up points on Dallas, especially through the air. And if they're going to just play that zone coverage, they've got no pass rush, man. They've got no pass rush right now. So I still feel good about offenses going against Dallas, and Dak Prescott looked really good in that matchup. Are you concerned about A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith moving forward?
I would say I'm a little concerned about A.J. Brown.
After one week.
DeVonta Smith kind of is what he is. We know he's not going to put up big numbers every week. So a few stinkers here or there you should kind of expect from DeVonta Smith. But A.J. Brown, you're drafting a lot higher, right? Like, if you asked me before the season, A.J. Brown or Ladd McConkey, I'm going to say A.J. Brown.
A lot of people would have said A.J. Brown.
But after this game, it's like, well, I kind of know Ladd McConkey's going to get, 7-8 targets a game every game. Like, he's not going to have a game where he only has one target. But this is also a product of the defense. And this is why, like, while it's not encouraging to see A.J. Brown have a game like this, it's a huge testament to what Dallas did to this offense. Like, they really took not just their top wide receiver away, but their second wide receiver and arguably their running back as well. Like, all of these great players that are so highly paid, Dallas took them all out of the game entirely and made Jalen Hurts beat them basically by himself. And they still made some plays, and Saquon did his thing on multiple occasions, but you have to give Dallas so much credit. So while I'm a little concerned about A.J. Brown, because the concern with him has always been, is there enough volume to support the price? He's still priced as a wide receiver 1, top 12 guy, because the touchdowns are there. He's a man beater, the best man beater in the league, but they played zone. And so if it's this situation, right, Ray, and another player we can comp him to is Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is one of the best yard per route run players in the NFL against man. But the NFL plays 70% zone, and that's why he's drafted in like the 7th round.
Yeah, I'm not
saying A.J. Brown's that bad, but it's an issue.
I keep seeing people, Hurts just has to throw it to him. There was no point.
Open,
there was no point to do it. Were we not watching the same game? Dallas would rush 4 and drop everybody back. Like, they dropped everybody. He wasn't open. There's nowhere to throw. It was the most
Hurts
easy
looked his
scheme.
way multiple times,
and he's
run. Just locked up. He wasn't locked up in the way that like he was locked up like a Stingley. But
they're
it's like
dropping the entire defense
and the guy
back
right there. Yeah.
If you're gonna do that and not spy the quarterback, we're going to just run the football. And they just kept picking up first downs. It's what they did was they got out of week 1 with the win. The world champs. This was a game Dallas could have won. The world champs got it done. This was always the issue, right? Will Hurts throw enough to support his weapons? It's like, and Hurts had 30 damn fantasy points. I mean, he smashed.
Yeah. He's a QB1, right?
He was Russell Westbrook. He's getting all the stats, not good for anybody else but him. He was out there doing it himself, Mr. Triple-Double himself. Jalen Hurts, I'm going to run it in. I'm running the ball. I'm doing it all on myself.
But here's the next, like, that's what worked.
Here's their next 5 opponents. The Chiefs, the Rams, the Bucks, the Broncos, the Giants. Then they got the Vikings and the Giants again.
Chiefs will play zone against them for sure. They'll watch the game that everyone just saw and say, "Yup, we can do that." Except we have Chris Jones in the middle, and he'll get to Jalen Hurts, right? So it'll be interesting. But you have to, what Spag's going to do. It'll be zone blitzes. It'll be a lot of probably cover 3 that Dallas ran, and he'll just take all these guys away. But I'm curious how the Eagles adjust, because the offense looked bad. And we say this every year about the Eagles offense, and it will improve, but new play caller, new scheme, new everything to some extent. Like, we'll see how they adjust, but they need to be better for sure.
Yeah. And, man, that play by Saquon Barkley. Wow. The best, that 3-yard, one-handed grab, hit the gas, stiff arm somebody, and then shoulder roll for the first down. Great play by Saquon Barkley. Javonte Williams, good game. That's your starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys. And we move forward because we've got a game tonight in Brazil. Jay Rich, the Chiefs and the Chargers set to do battle tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited
so
for this
excited
one.
for this game.
Are you pumped for this game, Jay?
I want the Chargers to win so bad. Like, Ray, so bad. But, we did our predictions with BR, and I took the Chiefs.
And you picked the Chiefs, so don't you?
I think the Chiefs are going to win. But,
Chiefs are favored by 3.5. Chiefs are favored by 3.5, Jay. Favored by 3.5.
Close.
Favored by 3.5.
It's going to be close. I mean, Rashawn Slater not playing is huge. I think the Chiefs are ready. Right? We talked about Andy Reid. I think it was 17-6 in openers as a head coach. But Ray, we did get some news, man.
We got Jay Rich. It is your redemption tour, my friend, because we did get a little news. What was that? What was that news we got, Jay Rich?
So we got word that Najee Harris is going to play in this contest, but from head coach John Harbaugh, Omarion Hampton, Ray, will be the starter for the Los Angeles Chargers. How does that make you feel going against those Chiefs? Best run defense in the league last year. Great for Omarion Hampton and all his shares that people are surely not going to overreact when he has 14 carries for 40 yards and no touchdown.
Listen, this is your chance for redemption. Of all the content we have put out on this channel over the years, that Omarion Hampton short has done more numbers than anything we've ever put out. And the people, Jay Rich, they thought you were just insane. Insane for suggesting Omarion Hampton over some of these players. So I want to pull up the expert consensus ranks for week 1. Okay?
Okay. So week 1?
Week 1. We're gonna do a little redemption tour for you, Jay Rich, because Omarion Hampton, right now, I am looking in, want to just go half PPR leagues, half PPR to kind of make it half PPR. He's ranked 18th on the week, Jay Rich. Omarion Hampton.
Oh my God.
I'm just.
Oh my God, dude! I would have had him buried in my rankings.
You would have had him lower than 18th?
Probably, yeah. 18th?
He's 18th. He's 18th.
Well, I mean,
if you're gonna bury him, then there's no point.
Start me low. Start me low.
All right, Jay Rich. On week 1 versus Kansas City, would you rather have Omarion Hampton or J.K. Dobbins, the starting running back in Denver?
I would take Omarion Hampton.
Okay. Omarion Hampton or Jalen Warren versus the Jets?
Oh, I'm absolutely taking Omarion Hampton.
Okay. All right. Omarion Hampton or David Montgomery. And there was a question asked to I think it was the OC in Detroit, or maybe it was the head coach, that said, do we expect a similar split between Gibbs and Monty as we had last year? And the answer was, we'll see. Which to me sounds like no. But would you rather David Montgomery this week versus Green Bay or Omarion Hampton?
I'm going to take Omarion Hampton.
All right. Omarion Hampton or same game, Isaiah Pacheco.
Ooh, I think I would take Isaiah Pacheco.
Omarion Hampton or Breece Hall?
I would take Omarion Hampton.
Omarion Hampton or Chuba Hubbard versus Jacksonville?
I got to take Chuba Hubbard.
Omarion Hampton or Alvin Kamara versus Arizona?
You got to take Alvin Kamara there.
All right. I'm going to stop you right there. There's no point to Omarion Hampton or your boy Kyron Williams versus Houston.
Look, man, that Houston defense is good. I might take Omarion Hampton over Kyron Williams this week. I might do it.
Kyron's at 13, so not that much higher. He's at 13 versus Houston, and yeah, that's a tough matchup as well. How do you expect that split to play out between Hampton? I think it's going to be a lot of Hampton, man. I think it's going to be.
I'm not 70-30, probably.
I'm not trusting Najee in week 1. I'm not trusting Najee in week 1.
I have for you though, and the one that gave me a bit of pause, is J.K. Dobbins, and it's not because I like J.K. Dobbins, the talent, but like, what are the chances he scores against Tennessee? Like 60%? Because Tennessee's terrible. Like, Denver should probably put up 30 points on Tennessee easily. They're playing at home. I'm not going to say Cam Ward's going to throw 3 picks, but man, like, he's in trouble this week playing against Denver. And if J.K. Dobbins is a starter, which it seems like he's going to be, at least in some capacity, or splitting carries with Harvey, like, both Harvey and Dobbins can score, and we shouldn't be shocked by that happening. Like, it's probably could be no different than we saw in Dallas, where out of nowhere, Javonte Williams has 2 touchdowns. So that's the player where it's like, do I want Omarion Hampton, who I think is the better player, going to see a lot of work, but the touchdown could be very hard for him to get against this Chiefs team, or do I bet on Dobbins, who may only get like 12 carries, but a pretty good shot of scoring because he's playing such a bad team?
Did you see RJ Harvey change his number too? Number 12 now.
Oh, do you see Luther Burden change his number again?
He changed his number twice.
His number twice now.
2-3 times.
13 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm never buying that guy's jersey because he'll just change his number again.
Change it again. Walt says Omarion Hampton is no Natron Means. Jerry Rich, do you know who Natron Means is?
I honestly have no clue. I'm assuming it's a comic book character.
No, he's a former running back for the Chargers, not a comic book character.
He's a real person.
Natron, it's a real person, Jay Rich. He's a former Chargers running back, man. Big boy Natron Means. Okay, let's go to break. We'll go through some more games. Hit us with some questions. Who are y'all thinking about this week? Who do y'all want us to talk about? We got a lot of dope games on tap. The Kansas City game tonight versus the Chargers. Jay Rich talked about Omarion Hampton. I do want to get your thoughts on Xavier Worthy. Are we bullish or a little bearish on X Worthy? We'll do that, Jay Rich, after we got to go to a quick break, man. People like the new intermission music. So hit the thumbs up button, like the stream. We'll be back. We still got a lot of show left, so stay locked in. Welcome back to the show. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We are here on September 5th. Cowboys-Eagles game last night kicked off the 2025 NFL season. We got games tonight, games all weekend. We're talking through all of that on the show. Hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and comment with the good people in the stream. Again, if you weren't able to check out the content on the channel, we did a rookie watch list, a 2026 watch list with Damian Parson. Make sure you check that out on the channel. And I'll be recapping week 2 of the college football games sometime this weekend. Get that posted for all of y'all who have better things to do on your Saturday than watch college football. Jay, we were talking about Worthy prior to the break. He is currently on the week ranked as wide receiver 16 versus this Chargers secondary that is not very good. Jay Rich, so in a game where Jalen Royals is going to miss, no Rashee Rice to start the season, it looks like the starting 3 in 11 personnel for Kansas City is going to be some combination of Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster. Is it Tyquan Thornton as the projected number 3 wide receiver on the field for Patrick Mahomes in this matchup?
No. Hollywood did practice.
Oh, Hollywood
so
Brown.
It could be Hollywood.
Hollywood would be out there.
Well, he was injured, and we weren't sure if he was going to play.
It'd be Hollywood.
But he practiced in full, so Hollywood would probably be that
Hollywood,
Worthy,
Hollywood, Worthy, and Juju. That'd be the 3.
Yeah.
That'd be the 3. How we feeling about Worthy on the week this week? I wrote an article on Yahoo. I've been projected as a top 10 receiver. I think he finishes inside the top 10 this week. He's right outside the top 10, 16th. What are your thoughts on Worthy in this game?
I mean, there's definitely going to be opportunity for him. The question really for me is, can the Chargers do enough to stop the run in Pacheco, which looked really strong when they played against the Bears in the preseason? Like, that offense looked really, really good. They didn't have to pass the ball a lot. It was really a lot of the rushing attack. But I think Worthy can have a pretty big game if they can just be decent at stopping the run and forcing them into some slightly longer third and longs, even some second and mediums type of stuff where Mahomes is going to throw the ball more. So I'm kind of with you. I don't know if I'm that bullish because there is some really good matchups in the NFL this week, but Worthy definitely has a good one. The question really is, like, what does the Brazil aspect of all of this play into it? Are the field conditions going to be as bad as they were last year? Because if they are, I think that could definitely benefit a player like Xavier Worthy because of how fast he is, how hard it's going to be to cut and move and catch a player that is so lightning quick. So it can definitely benefit him there. But yeah, he's the only wide receiver of consequence. Like, I like Juju. He's fine in this offense, but Worthy is definitely a player who has tons of boom potential.
Let's go. Would you rather Xavier Worthy? Hit me with a few.
All right.
I saw somebody ask me Worthy or Cortland Sutton. I think I saw Worthy or Ikem Ekwonu in this matchup, which I like Ikem Ekwonu this week as well. But I'll let you pull it up. Let me check the comments. I'll let you pull it up and hit me with a few. I saw the chat. AJM said Chiefs will mix it up between 6 guys after Kelsey and Worthy.
This is tough, Ray. All right, so I'm going to start you a little bit lower because I want to see where you're at with Worthy. Let's start with Xavier Worthy. Would you rather Worthy or Cortland Sutton?
I like Sutton, but I would take Worthy this week.
Okay, so Sutton has Tennessee. Great matchup there. Another great matchup. Xavier Worthy or Tetairoa McMillan?
McMillan versus the Jags. I'll take Worthy in this one. I like McMillan. Rookie, I think he'll get his. He'll get fed. But I want the ceiling of Worthy in this game.
Would you rather Xavier Worthy or Terry McLaurin against the Giants?
Historically, those receivers who missed a lot of time in training camp, they should start a little slow. They just start off a little slow. I'm not worried about McLaurin long-term. Versus the Giants, they're playing at home. I would take Worthy over McLaurin in week 1.
Okay. Now, Xavier Worthy or Devontae Adams. And now Devontae Adams does have Houston.
I'm just drinking the Adams Kool-Aid, man. I'm just
Same,
drinking the Adams Kool-Aid. I would take Devontae Adams over Worthy for week 1.
So all those players are actually listed below Xavier Worthy, who's wide receiver 16 on the expert consensus ranks on Fantasy Pros. But I do have a few more for you. Xavier Worthy or Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek.
Xavier Worthy or Jackson Smith and Jigba against the 49ers?
I would take Worthy. I'd go Worthy over JSN week 1 versus San Francisco with Sam Darnold. Yes.
Xavier Worthy or T. Higgins against the Cleveland Browns?
I feel like it's got to be T. I feel like I would play T. I would just trust Burrow, that offense. I would take T. Higgins over Worthy this week.
And last but not least, Xavier Worthy or the bad man on the other side, Ladd McConkey?
Oh, Ladd or Worthy in the same game. Hey.
I think it's a floor versus ceiling type of argument.
I kind of want to take Ladd. In that one. If we're a little bearish on Hampton's potential outlook in this matchup, I kind of want to take Ladd over Worthy in this one and just bet on the volume. I think I would take Ladd over Worthy this week in the same game.
And the last one, just because I'm intrigued your thoughts, Xavier Worthy or Jameson Williams against the Packers? He's wide receiver 28 this week.
You said Ladd or Worthy or excuse me?
No, Jameson Williams or Xavier Worthy.
I would roll with X in this one. I would go with Worthy. That's a good one though. That's a good one.
Considering the gap, like Xavier Worthy's at wide receiver 16 and Jameson Williams at 28, they're the same receiver in some respects, right? But one's probably the number 1 and one's definitely the number 2, maybe even the number 3. But I expect Detroit and Green Bay to be very high scoring.
Yeah.
I don't really know what we're going to get from this Chargers-Chiefs matchup. Usually, I think at least the past 2 have been a little bit lower scoring, but we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, I'm very much in on Tyreek. That was the quickest one. I'm very much in on Tyreek. His go look at since 2017, like his first real year starting at wide receiver, his week 1 since he became a starting wide receiver, I think out of the 7 week ones, all like one of them were sub 100 yards. Tyreek Hill is prime time in week 1, and then he's got a great matchup versus Indianapolis, so I would take Tyreek Hill in that matchup. Where else we going, man? What other games, what other players do you want to talk about, Jay?
I mean, one of the most interesting games for me, and I don't know if you want to start with the 1 o'clock games, like the 1 o'clock games are a little bit more boring. Do you think the Bengals will start fast against the Browns?
Yes.
That's the main question.
Yes, I do.
So you think they'll start fast? Okay.
I do. I do, Jay. They played them all preseason for a reason. It feels like this is like they were getting them ready to we cannot start off slow this year. They're favored by 5.5, 48.5 points.
It's a trap spread, dude.
You think it's a trap spread?
Well, it's not. It's like 5.5 is such a weird spread because you don't see it very often. And I was doing a bit of research into that spread for our Bleacher Report pick show, and 5.5 is okay. If you're favored by 5.5, I think you still win like 60% of the time. But when a spread closes at 5, straight up I think since 2020 or maybe even 2010, the record of teams that were favored by 5 points was 14, 13, and 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a spot where the books believe in the favored team, but there's enough reasons to detract against them. Obviously, the week 1 stuff with the Bengals. Are they going to start fast? The defense. And they're playing on the road. And Joe Burrow hasn't historically played overly well in Cleveland. He has struggled at times. Now it is September, so the weather will be pretty good. But I definitely have some concerns about the Bengals. I'm not in the camp to like, oh, they played in preseason, so they're good. I think Jamar Chase will be good. But I think Jamar Chase can go off, and this team can still not go crazy.
T. Higgins or Xavier Worthy, week 1?
I'd be tempted to take Xavier Worthy.
Over T?
I'd be tempted, yeah. I do think that Worthy has a higher ceiling, and there is a world where T could disappear in this game a little bit. I think there is a world where he could disappear a little bit in this game because he's not matchup proof, and the Browns defense isn't bad. Like, without Myles Garrett, if he doesn't play, it will be bad, probably.
I feel like he'll play, right?
But I think he's going to play, and so for me, it's just, I think I would slightly lean into the boom potential. If you have both those guys on your team, they're both starting, but if you're asking me to choose, I think I may just pick on the potential boom of Xavier Worthy.
Who's that? Let me ask you in the chat. I want the wake up chat. Get ready. I want your comments. Who's the rookie that we've been hyped up about that at least appears today to be walking into opportunity? And I'm not talking about Hampton. I'm not talking about Genty. I mean, like the Dylan Sampsons of the world, Ibuka, Ollie. Who's the one that's about to just bust, like just not return any value, like all hopium? Scatterboo, you said Thornton.
Well, you said because you're saying bust. I mean, Sampson for me is the guy that's going to bust. Like if I had to pick a player who's probably going to bust, and I'm still starting in a few leagues because I'm a little bit desperate, it's Dylan Sampson, because I don't think he's a very good running back. But he's projected to start against the Bengals.
Well, no, he's not. He's not going to start. He's going to be the spell back for Ford. Ford is the starter.
We'll see, right? I've seen mixed reports as to who's going to start. See the majority of the carries.
Okay,
we'll see. But if I had to pick a bust pick, especially with the matchup against the Bengals, it would be Sampson, because I just don't think he's a very good running back. Like that's just.
And people are starting Sampson this week. I think people are going to start.
Do you have any concerns about Ibuka? Because Ibuka should be a pretty popular bust pick, in my opinion. Because this defense isn't bad for the Falcons. It's not great, but everyone thinks it's going to be this guy.
Well, this is a team that still, the Falcons generated the second lowest pressure rate in the NFL last season. I know they went out and drafted Jalen Walker and they got James Pierce, but if the Buccaneers don't have their left tackle, this is the type of matchup you want. A team that doesn't generate pressure. Okay, we don't have our left tackle in the building. We're up against a team that doesn't generate a lot of pressure. I don't know. What is there to be concerned about? Who else is going to get the ball? It's Mike Evans.
It's just an offense that isn't very good, right? Like, AJ Terrell is still
going to... How is it not very good?
Well, I mean, you're talking about an offense that played very well at times last season. But this defense is much improved.
Jay, it didn't play.
You're going to say this is
you're massively.
You think this is one of the? I'm underrating the Bucs offense.
Underrating the Bucs offense, big time.
Okay. But my point is Ibuka, and my counter to you is, well, why won't Bucky Irvin go crazy in this game?
He can
why
do
does Ibuka
that.
need to do anything?
They're going to run 50, 60
They're going to
plays.
run the ball. I don't think they're going to need to pass the ball, because I've already told you that I don't think the Falcons are going to play very well in this game.
This was the number 4 offense. Dude, this was better than just an okay offense last year. It was freaking standing.
And this is a very different team. This is a very different offense. It's not the same coordinators, and half the team is hurt. The left tackle's hurt. Your second receiver's hurt. Arguably, your third receiver is hurt. Rookie wide receiver stepping into the wide receiver 2 spot. We can't just act like this is going to be the same offense we saw last year.
I'm not saying it's going to be the same offense, but you do have the same. You know what's I'll say this. If you're trying to make this great dinner, right, and you got a great chef, right, even if there's some ingredients missing, I'm going to that great chef is going to be able to compensate for it. Right?
I think this is a bad analogy.
You've got
I hear
Baker
where you're
Mayfield.
coming from, but it's not. It's not a good analogy.
How is it not when you still have the same quarterback? It's the same team.
Because a chef is responsible for everything that goes into the dish.
Not if you're on Guys Grocery Games. You got to deal with what you got. Sometimes you get it, and if you're a good enough cook, you can make it work.
But cooks are dependent on themselves. Baker Mayfield is dependent on the players around him. You're talking about ingredients. You're comparing ingredients to people. Those are two very different things.
I'm not comparing.
You are comparing ingredients to people. You're
focused on the analogy. Okay.
I told you it's a bad analogy. And if you think Baker is Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and a great quarterback that can elevate the talent around him, then go for it. I wouldn't say he's quite that good. He is good.
So now Baker is just he's just pedestrian. He's just a pedestrian QB.
He is a product of great talent around him.
Okay.
He elevated himself with the talent around him, but is the talent currently
We'll agree
around
to
him?
disagree. Baker's just a product.
You love Baker. I understand you love Baker. But
I don't love Baker.
You clearly do. You think he's like this quarterback that's going to take this team to the promised land when they barely won their own division last year with a ton of guys healthy. Well, that's how you're speaking about him, are you not?
And you're speaking about him like he's Mac effing Jones.
I'm speaking about him like he's playing against a team that tried to get better defensively. And he's playing on a team that lost their OC that everyone is literally jerking themselves off to every week, talking about Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars and how great they're going to be. But what? Losing him doesn't matter?
So
losing
Ibuka
Chris
bust?
Godwin doesn't matter? My whole point was I think there's a world where Ibuka could not perform at the level people expected. And you're like, well, how's that going to happen? Because Baker's so good. It's like, well, Baker's good, but can he overcome all of these things?
All right.
There's a lot of issues offensively for this team.
Would you rather Matthew Golden or Ikem Ekwonu this week?
I would probably take Matthew Golden.
Rome Odunze or Ikem Ekwonu?
I'm taking Rome Odunze.
Ricky Pearsall or Ikem Ekwonu?
I would take Ikem Ekwonu.
DK Metcalf or Emeka?
I'm taking DK Metcalf.
Jauan Jennings or Ikem Ekwonu?
I'm going to take Ibuka probably.
Everybody that I listed is below Ibuka. Everybody that I listed.
Yeah.
Rome.
But he's very high.
Debo or Emeka? Debo or Emeka?
I would take Debo. I like Debo a lot this week.
Emeka is higher than Debo. Travis Hunter or Emeka?
I'm taking Ikem Ekwonu. He actually plays wide receiver.
Marvin Mims or Ibuka? I'm just asking.
I mean, I kind of like Marvin Mims this week. I could make the case, but I'll take Ibuka for the more like the 10-point probably he'll give me.
Okay. Jalen Waddle or Ibuka?
I'd probably take Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle's higher. Half PPR. Waddle's a few spots higher. Baker Mayfield, I don't even want to do a would you rather with him because we'd be down in Sam Darnold range before you take Baker Mayfield. Where else? What else? Who else do you want to talk about, Jay Rich? Let me see what the Dill saying.
We certainly talked about Bucks and Falcons.
Odunze going to disappoint this year. I disagree with that one.
I mean, Colts, Dolphins, we can skip. Raiders, Patriots. Takeaway
let's not skip because you just spent 10 minutes talking about how awful Baker Mayfield was, but you, my friend, think that Daniel Jones is a consistent quarterback and Daniel Jones will beat the Miami Dolphins. That's what you talked about on Bleacher Report. Why don't you defend that?
I talked about.
Why don't you defend that? Daniel Jones being a consistent quarterback. And this is a matchup he can easily win. Those were your words.
I did say that. Yeah, I brought up the fact that I believe that Daniel Jones can be a more consistent quarterback than the Colts have had during Shane Steichen's tenure. And I think that is a fairly reasonable thing to say. That's the whole reason why he's the starting quarterback of the Colts ahead of Anthony Richardson. That was exactly what
you said he was more consistent than Tua. You say he's the most consistent in this game.
I said he was more consistent than Tua, but I may have said it. Maybe I did say it. I don't know. But my whole point was that he's more consistent than the players that they've had. And I think that consistency offensively can yield a victory over a team that I think is hot trash. Because Miami sucks. Like, Ray, they're a terrible team. Their defense sucks. Their offensive line sucks. The only reason why they win any games is because of Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle, and Achane. And maybe they can win a game against the Colts because the Colts aren't that good. But the Colts defense is better than the Dolphins defense. The Colts offensive line, even though they lost their $100 million guard, is better than the Miami Dolphins offensive line. And I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a big game this game. And it's not really going to matter what Daniel Jones does.
Now the analysis to speak glowingly about Jones to some degree and just disparage Baker, I just don't get it. I just do not get it.
I simply said he's more consistent than the quarterbacks they've had. And this is a team that's won like 7 or 8 games the past 3 years. They're never so bad that they have a high draft pick, but they're just not good enough to get over the hump. So clearly their team as a whole is pretty strong.
The Colts are never good enough to have a high draft pick?
Yeah.
Since
they drafted A. Rich.
They're just 2 years away from picking inside the top 5.
Yeah,
2 years
they
removed
drafted
from that.
A. Rich, and since they got Shane Steichen, they've been good. It's clearly a new regime, new quarterback, new everything. Since they've had Steichen, they've been a fine competitive team. So, again, you can bring up something from 3 years ago, but clearly they've moved on from that because that was a shit decision. And they're a much better team.
All right, let's move on to this game. Let's talk about some more of your boys. Patriots, Raiders. Jay Rich. We both picked the Raiders in an upset in this matchup over New England. How are we feeling about the pass catchers? Like, I don't want to talk about, okay, you're starting Genty. We have no issues there. You're firing up Brock Bowers. If you're in Superflex, Geno Smith. I think my true focus is on New England. There are a lot of players that people are hyped up about. You got Kyle Williams, Stephon Diggs. You've got Trevion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, Pop Douglas, Chisholm. I'm reading people say don't sleep on Chisholm out there. Like this is a guy that's going to be on the field playing. Don't be shocked. What are your thoughts about New England, and who do you feel confident in this week outside of, I guess, your confidence in Trevion Henderson?
Literally nobody. Vrabel said Stephon Diggs is going to play. Okay, like, is he going to be good? Does he have chemistry with Drake May? Like, this is where the Pats being favored. I get the Raiders are bad, but like, I still don't understand how you're taking Drake May and whatever offense we get. I don't know what the offense is going to look like. I mean, I expect Henderson to catch some passes. Maybe Ramondre is effective. I understand the Raiders isn't great as a team, but like, I just love the addition of Geno Smith and Pete Carroll and what this team should be from just an offensive standpoint, that I think they can just outscore the Patriots. Like, I think it's that simple. I don't think the Patriots are going to put up a ton of points, maybe 20, maybe 24 if they get some explosive plays, but I think Geno's going to chuck the ball. And whatever happens, happens, and they'll live or die by those results. And I think because of that, I think the Raiders are going to win. And that's not even factoring in Genty at all.
Yeah.
Like, there is zero part of me that's like, oh, Genty's going to take over the game. He's going to mean everything for the Raiders, because the offensive line is a work in progress. And I think that New England solidified the defensive line enough to where they can compete. And I think that side of things will be kind of neutral. It'll depend on whether Drake May can outduel Geno Smith. And I'm just going to take Geno Smith because I just believe in him more.
Look at Walt. Let's go, Walt. Walt's Michael Mayer, Trey Tucker, Jack Bech, Jacoby Myers, all the Raiders getting targets.
Big fan of the B team.
Just
won't. That's the preseason week 3 squad right there. Jack Bech, Trey Tucker, and Michael Mayer. Lighten it up preseason week 3. Let's go, baby.
That is the JV squad, man. Those are the starters week 1 in preseason right there. That's your starting.
Tucker might play though.
Tucker.
I feel bad doing it because Tucker's probably going to start or play a prominent role.
Hell yeah! I mean,
Geno does like him a lot, so
yeah, he's going to play.
Probably play.
He's going to play.
But Mayer and Bech, look, man, Bech is a second rounder, but he ain't running ahead of Thornton right now, not yet.
Where else you want to talk? Man, we could talk the Monday Night Football game on Monday on Wake Up Show. Yeah, so we'll save Minnesota, Chicago. I think if anything, people are like, would you play any of those guys over other folks? I'll just say from that game, are you starting Mason week 1? Because people want to know, are you playing Jordan Mason week 1 versus Chicago? Because you're going to start Aaron Jones. You're going to start Aaron Jones. You're going to start Justin Jefferson. You're starting TJ Hawkinson.
You probably should, because the reports already are that Jordan Mason is probably going to be the goal line back because Aaron Jones was really poor on the goal line last year. So I think from that alone, you should be starting Jordan Mason against the Bears. I'm trying to think of other like questionable spots. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, Jauan Jennings.
No, I just want to real quick. I just want to focus on this one because we're not. Even though the game won't happen until Monday, people are making decisions based on players. Yeah. Did you see the practice clip of DJ Moore from the other day?
I didn't know. What did he do? Nothing.
Out there with the running backs again. Jay Ritchie's split time receiver and some of that RB because apparently Roshan still not there. Looks like Kyle Monangai is going to be the 2. DJ Moore is going to play in the backfield. He's not going to be the running back, but he's going to be there.
I'm fine with that.
He's going to be there. He's going to be there.
I'm fine with that.
Are you just firing up all your Bears, are you playing Adam Thielen over anybody this week? I don't think you could do that.
That's tough. And it's not because he doesn't know the system. It's that he doesn't know J.J. McCarthy, right? They've worked out together. I remember hearing about that. So there could be some chemistry. And he may be fine, but it feels like you're banking on what, like 5 receptions for 50 yards? Maybe he can do a bit better than that. But that would be pretty good. That'd be pretty good for Thielen.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good.
Oh, look at me. Solo box. I guess I
had to sneeze. That's my bad. That's my bad.
You're good.
I like McCarthy.
I don't. I
like McCarthy.
Talk to me. Talk me into McCarthy. I do not want to start him at all. Like, I do not want to start JJ McCarthy. He's going to be in Chicago. It's on the road. Like, the Bears fans are going to be hyped. Like, I don't want to do it.
I got nothing for you outside of they've got a really good offensive line. They've got a strong running game. They've got an allotment of weapons, and I don't think they're coming out there to play around. But to be
he's
fair,
pretty buried, dude.
I mean, he's way down there. He's like what?
QB 21.
Yeah, he's way down there. I think the big takeaway is the expectation for the high-flying offenses that we have, outside of Burrow and Chase, who have done it repeat. I mean, even last night, Dak and CD, had they connected, had Dak hit Pickens on the big play, did not have the pass interference, had he, Jake Ferguson come down, the offensive chemistry was there from the teams that have played together. I think the big takeaway, if we're talking just real football, is a lot of the new might take a couple of weeks to figure out. So there'll be a few teams that just explode, right? Everything clicks offensively and it just works.
For sure.
But by and large, it's probably going to take a couple of weeks for these offenses to figure out the right personnel, play style, how things are actually working in these systems. So the McCarthy bet is just the vibes on the team, man. Like it's really just, he can run around. We haven't seen him. 43.5 point total, not that high, and it is on the road. So there's a reason why he's buried, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's my only concern. It's not that season long he can't be great. It's just I just don't love the matchup. It's a divisional game. Like, the fans will be hyped. Ben Johnson debut. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not so sold on the Bears defense, right? I just don't think that J.J. McCarthy is going to be the guy that throws for 250 and 2 touchdowns, which isn't fair. Crazy. But
that's fair. I'm not going to argue on that.
I think that's what it'll probably take to be worth starting, right? Like, how do you feel about him versus like even a C.J. Stroud against the Rams?
I don't like C.J. Stroud's matchup this week.
It's not a good one.
I don't like the matchup this week against the Rams.
But would you just say, you know what? Like, I'm just trusting C.J. Stroud because
no,
I know he's a good NFL quarterback.
If I'm going to be wrong, week 1 is fine. I'll just let it fucking rip. Just put McCarthy in. I just let it rip. Run around, throw the ball to Jefferson. I'm just going to let it rip with J.J. McCarthy. I do not like Houston on the road versus L.A. on Sunday. I don't like it. Yeah. Rams favored by 3. In that matchup, are you playing Brian Robinson this week? Would you play B-Rob this week? Okay.
I mean, maybe if it's a deep league or you are a little bit low on flexes or something, maybe, but I don't really want to, no.
What are you doing in Washington then? What are you doing with the Washington backfield? They're favored by 5.5. You talked about that 5.5 line. They're favored by 5.5 versus the Giants. Washington. They're favored by 5.5.
What the hell happened to? They were favored by like 6.5.
Well, they're favored by 5.5 now.
Man, people not liking that Washington, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'd be starting Eckler. I know that. But Bill?
Are you starting Krosky Merritt?
I got no Bill.
Are you starting Krosky Merritt?
No.
Where are the vibes on Krosky Merritt right now? He was the second coming of LaDainian Tomlinson a few weeks ago. What are the vibes?
Well, I'm still scrolling, so they're not good. He's RB42. He's actually behind Rachaad White, who I'm pretty sure will be inactive in this game, unless he is magically recovered from, what was it, a hamstring injury he had?
Who's this?
Or,
who are we talking about?
Rachaad White.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Behind Caleb Johnson, who is probably the backup in Pittsburgh. Dylan Sampson behind Charbonnet, who is definitely the backup. Behind Ramondre, who technically the starter, but splitting carries there. Behind Nick Chubb, behind Jordan Mason, behind Tank Bigsby. But Ray, give me your thoughts on Bigsby versus ETN, listed as co-starters this week. Jacksonville is at home against Carolina. Big game, could be a lot of points. A lot of people want to see Liam Cohen's offense. Where are you at on ETN versus Bigsby?
I'll start whichever one I have. I don't have both of them, but I've got one of them in a variety of leagues. So
you'd start both, regardless.
If I had one, I would start both of them.
Okay.
This Carolina defense, I'm not scared of this defense. It's a bad defense. It's a bad defense, right? This is a bad defense. So, yeah, Jay Rich, I would, I guess confidently, if you want to call it that, start both of them. If I drafted that way to have those kind of guys on my roster, I would play them versus Carolina. I mean,
yeah,
I'm from the Jacksonville side. Trevor Lawrence, both the running backs, Brenton Strange. I would play him. I've got no problem starting Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Like, they're not all gonna go ape shit. I know that.
Is Hunter a must start for you?
No, he's not a must start. No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think there are a lot of other options over Travis Hunter you can take. He's not a must start for me at all. And I don't think he's ranked that way either. Where's he at?
He's wide receiver 35. So he kind of is. Like, my questions would come around players like Jacoby Myers. Would you start Jacoby Myers or Travis Hunter? And Myers has his own questions, which, we've talked about. But
listen, I know it's not going to... I know people are going to be like, oh, I'll just shoot for the upside. I would probably feel more comfortable starting Jacoby Myers versus Christian Gonzalez less New England Patriots secondary.
Yeah. And that's where I'm kind of at too. Matthew Golden's another player that I thought about, and it's not because...
Golden or Hunter?
Yeah. I think Golden's a fine player, and I think he'll get opportunity against this Detroit team, and that's why I would probably start him over Hunter. But, I mean, Hunter could still have a great game. Like, he definitely could.
I think I would start Matthew Golden over Hunter as well. What about Garrett Wilson or Travis Hunter? You would start Garrett Wilson.
I would start Garrett Wilson, yeah. I'm
Chris
betting
Olave.
on the guaranteed volume.
Chris Olave or Hunter?
That's disgusting.
I'm taking Hunter. I'm not fooling with New Orleans week one. I'll just be wrong. I'm not fooling with him week one, Jay.
But
there's no
world
no
where even Olave catches like 6 passes for 50 yards, and that's better than Hunter. Because that could happen. Like, Arizona could win big in this game. And if they're winning big, maybe we see some finger guns. Maybe we see some garbage time. Like, this is the game you're playing with the Saints. Right? Is you're probably betting on garbage time. But garbage time can be fruitful. So are you going to bet on Travis Hunter playing in a more competitive environment, hopefully, depending on what happens? And I think you even lean to the side of maybe Jacksonville could even blow out the Panthers if everything goes well. Versus Olave, who, number one target, quarterback.
I'm taking Hunter over.
Probably will get targets.
I'm starting Hunter over Chris. And this is not a Chris Olave diss. This is not an Olave diss track. This is
straight Spencer Rattler.
I saw the graphic for the game, and it's Rattler and Kyler Murray, and I'm just like, whew, man. Yeah. Like, how do you feel good as a Saints fan going into this week? You can't.
Saints fans haven't felt good in a while, bro. It's been some time.
You can't feel. So 97 HOV says Hunter or Calvin Ridley this week.
Oh God. Oh my God, Ray.
Hunter or Ridley?
I think it's Ridley, but
Or I don't feel the conviction, Jay. Travis
no,
Hunter,
it's gotta be
Calvin
Hunter,
Ridley.
man. Calvin Ridley's getting shut down. I'm calling it. He's having a terrible game.
PS2.
Cam
on
Ward
the road.
under 100 yards. Calvin Ridley under 40 yards.
On the road
it's
versus
over
Denver.
for the Titans. It's over.
On the road, the Broncos favored by 8.5, 42.5 point over under total in this one. So that the implied odds, that would be, they've got Tennessee projected for what?
Make me do math now.
17 points?
21, 4 to both sides. So like 24 to 17 or something like that.
Number 1 pass defense last year. Number
against
three,
what, the 30th ranked offense?
Number 3 pressure rate.
This is one of the most unfair matchups for a number 1 overall pick I've seen in a while. I mean, I don't have the history in front of me, but this is
I'm reading
so bad.
I'm reading some of the notes. The Broncos blitzed 37.3% of opposing dropbacks last year, the 4th highest rate in the league. Notably successful when rushed 4 or fewer, generating 36.9% amount of pressure rate. So Cam Ward is going to have to get the ball out quickly versus Nick Medino in that $120 million bag. So I asked Matt Harmon this. I was like, hey, are you one of the guys that, fantasy analysts start your studs no matter what? And he was like, yeah, I start my studs no matter what. But he said, Calvin Ridley, I would not qualify as a stud. So I would start somebody else over Calvin Ridley in week 1. Yeah, if you want to shoot for that Hunter upside over Calvin Ridley, I don't hate it either.
Over the defensive player of the year, yeah, probably a good call.
Yeah.
Probably a good call.
Yeah.
You buying that Alec Iomanor race, starting over Van Jefferson. Can you do something?
Let's go.
Flexworthy?
Let's go.
Where's he in the ranks?
72.
Wow, way down.
Wide receiver 72 on the week.
Yeah. I wouldn't even bother ranking that far down.
Ike said can't trust Arizona on the road laying 5.5.
I cannot trust. There is no way I'd be betting Arizona and Survivor. No, thank you. Give me the Broncos because they're gonna win. I am not messing with Arizona. No shot.
Okay. All right.
No
Lockett. Oh, come on. Rocco Mo. What a dirty question. Lockett or Diggs?
Oh, Diggs.
Got to go Diggs, man.
Lockett or Diggs?
I don't even know if Lockett
Diggs is still playing the
Where's
Raiders.
Lockett at? Oh, he's in Tennessee, huh?
Yeah, he's in Tennessee.
Yeah, I can't. If you got to start Lockett week 1, man.
Right, here's a would you rather for you. Tyler Lockett or Quentin Johnston?
Give me that QJ. Give me that QJ.
Okay.
Don't ask me.
Brown, actually.
Don't ask me any more would you rathers featuring freaking Tyler Lockett either. All right, Jay, let's hit the chat. Yeah, Alan said neither. Yeah, I would find yeah, Rocco laughing at himself asking that damn question. Damn, Tyler Lockett or Diggs. It's rough, man. Jimbo, here we go. Let's finish out the show with just straight questions in the chat. RJ Harvey or Jordan Mason? Week 1, Jay Rich. Rapid fire.
I think I would take RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey. I'm just all in against Tennessee,
RJ Harvey.
I think.
RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
I would go RJ Harvey over Jordan Mason as well. Let me scroll up in the chat, see if we have any other. Alan saying start the Denver RBs. I'll let the chat throw a little in there. I've been buying Elick. Hunter or DJ Moore? This week, Hunter or DJ Moore?
I think I would take DJ Moore. I think Ben Johnson's going to have a good week. I do.
Really? Okay. I see Olave is a floor play. Let's see if there are any other questions. Jason said that was a 2019 question, that Lockett or Diggs. That was...
And it's still Diggs.
6 years ago, and it was Diggs then, and it's Diggs now, Jason. It's still Diggs. And Jason, appreciate you checking out all the collegiate content on the channel. Shakir or Palmer?
Shakir.
All right. Hall or Ikem Ekwonu in PPR? Would you rather Breece Hall or Ikem Ekwonu in PPR?
In PPR?
PPR.
Man, I might take Hall.
80 Mitchell or Luther Burden? Joe.
Burden.
Joe.
I don't know if Mitchell's going to be on the field.
Yeah, I would take. I don't want either of them week 1, but I would probably go with Luther Burden over Adonai Mitchell in week 1. Shaheed or Shakir?
Shakir.
I'm not fooling with. I'm just telling you, I'm not touching anybody in New Orleans outside of Kamara week 1. Just full stop. Full stop. Nobody in New Orleans. If I get burned, if Shaheed and Olave go ape shit and I lose because I didn't have Shaheed or Olave in, then I'll eat the L. Hendo or Pacheco, Jay Rich? This one's going to eat at your heartstrings.
I would say Pacheco in half PPR, Hendo in full PPR. I think it's very close, though.
All right, we got a couple of more. AJ Wood, shout out to AJ. Sutton, Judy, DK, need 2.
Sutton and Judy.
Sutton is a lock. Sutton's
a lock.
Sutton is
Judy
a lock.
versus DK. Who do you prefer? Gotta be Judy, right?
Give me Judy. Give me.
If you think the Bengals are
Judy.
gonna put up points, they gotta throw. DK still has to deal with Sauce and whatever they throw at him coverage wise. It'll be tougher, but we'll see.
Rome, J-Mo, or ETN?
I'm tempted to say J-Mo.
You're tempted to say J-Mo, aren't you?
I think the safer play is Rome. I think the ceiling, like if you feel like you need a lot of points, it's probably J-Mo.
I think Rome has some ceiling as well.
For certain he does, but he's just not J-Mo.
He's
not that boom bust.
Okay, here's one. Dobbins or Swift?
Swift.
Swift over Dobbins pretty easily. Yeah. You said that quickly.
I like Swift.
You said that very fast. Very
swiftly, actually.
Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, or Tank Bigsby?
Tank Bigsby.
Travis Hunter or Ricky Pearsall?
Travis Hunter.
All right, we'll give you 2 more, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's see, 2 more. We already did Sutton. We've already done Sutton. We've already done those guys. Keegan, come on, man. But Damian Pierce or Jalen Nailor?
Is Jalen Nailor even healthy?
Jay Rich,
is this a trick question?
You could not answer this question if you don't want to. All right,
I would take Nailor if he's healthy. I don't know if he's healthy, though. He was hurt.
I'd take neither. Find somebody else. Breece Hall or James Conner?
James Conner by a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, for real. Ray gets so volatile in disagreements with Jay. When?
We have fun.
Yeah, when did that happen?
We're good.
Deontay Thornton or Harvey? That's Harvey, right?
It is Harvey, but...
Okay, here's
you, man. I'm going to have some tickets in at Deontay Thornton at like 100 yards and a touchdown.
You're going to ladder that on FanDuel?
I'm probably going to ladder
you
Deontay
like
Thornton.
You like that Thornton. You are all in.
I think they're going to take some shots, man. And it's going to be the one dude, and it's going to be him. So
Bigsby or Thornton? I'm pull at your heartstrings.
I'd be considered to take Thornton there.
Okay.
Because if that's the decision you got to make, that's a deep league probably. And if you're shooting ceiling, it's Thornton.
All right, we got 2 minutes left, and Joe said it, and whenever she says it, I'm gonna do it. She said, "Give us some college games players to look for this Saturday." Joe, check out the watch list video if you didn't. I'm sure you probably did. But the big one this weekend on tap is Oklahoma, Michigan. Joe, that's the one you want. That's the big one because the quarterbacks that started, there was a lot of up and down performances, but John Mateer's in that game. You got John Mateer, who's projected to be one of the better quarterbacks. He's a dual threat guy. You've got Deion Burks, the wide receiver, who you'll watch him, Joe. He's right up your speed, right up your alley. You'll like Deion Burks. And then on Michigan, you've got Justice Haynes, the running back. And then you got a young, talented quarterback in Bryce Underwood. Like, that's the game. That's the primetime game. That's the one you want to be locked in on. Jay, are there any other ones on the slate?
I'm looking at it now. That's pretty much it, man.
That's the big game. That's the big game
that, we've talked about. It's actually at the same time, unfortunately. It's Arizona State, Mississippi State. And Arizona State is on the road. So they're at Mississippi State. Yes. And they didn't look good in week 1. So we'll see. But yeah, Arizona State to see how Jordan Tyson looks against an SEC team. But yeah, it's a lot of powerhouses versus in-state bad teams this week.
Yeah. So. Clemson plays Troy, Ohio State playing Grambling. Tennessee,
Alabama,
Joey
Monroe.
East Tennessee State versus Tennessee. This is the Miami versus Bethune-Cookman, LSU versus La Tech. It's
just in-state bumps.
Yeah, this is the bye week. I'll say this: the top players should look like top players. Klubnik, Nuss, Aller, Arch. They should all look good this week versus their opponents. The big game is Oklahoma, Michigan, Joe. That's the one. So I will recap this awful week 2 of college football for y'all. So Oregon, Oklahoma State to see Deontae Moore. Like, I just want to see Deontae Moore. And
all the comments from Mike Gundy about Oregon, they'll probably beat down Oklahoma State, honestly.
Man, college is so petty with those coaches in the press conferences. All right, Jay Rich, hit the music, man. Hit the music.
I can't believe you didn't even talk about the big game, Ray.
What's the big game?
Your prediction. You have not talked about
turn the music off. Turn the music off. Turn the music off. Turn the damn music off.
How do we get through this whole show? We didn't talk about Baltimore Buffalo.
Well, I mean, it's going to be an awesome game.
It is going to be an awesome game.
It's going to be a dope game. Like, it's Sunday Night Football. Baltimore favored by 1.5, 50.5 point total in this matchup. It's going to be a dope game. You got the battle of, again, the people's MVP versus the real MVP. You've got Derrick Henry. You got James Cook on the other side. Baltimore, you know the usual suspects. You're starting Lamar. You're starting Henry. You're starting Andrews. I think there might be some questions around Flowers, but if you have them, you're starting them. Yeah. I think the real question is, do you start like Rashad Bateman? And I think if you have him, he's probably going to be on your flex radar. And then there's no one else on that side. Buffalo, a little more tricky. It's Allen. You're starting him. You're starting James Cook, no doubt about it. We talked about Khalil Shakir. You're probably starting him as well. The real question is, do you play Keon Coleman and Kincaid? And the answer is probably, if you have them, you're probably having to start Kincaid. You're probably having to start Kincaid. You wouldn't do it? I'm not saying the matchup is good.
No.
If you drafted Kincaid, I doubt you're streaming tight end already in week 1.
Yeah, but man,
I just doubt that is the setup. If you've got other options, fine. But I doubt people have a lot of other options.
Players, man. There's got to be, like, what is he going to do against Roquan Smith? And if he doesn't get Roquan Smith, he gets Kyle Hamilton. If he doesn't get Kyle Hamilton, he gets Malachi Starks. If he doesn't get him, he gets Marlon Humphrey. Like, this team is so good. I don't know, man. It feels like you're just not. It's tight end, so I get it. And maybe the volume will be there, but Patrick's
saying Kincaid is a streamer in redraft. Stanley saying D-Hop is going to play in this one. I'll start Gesicki or Dalton Schultz over Kincaid. Would you start Gesicki and Schultz over Kincaid?
I would start Gesicki and Schultz over Kincaid, yeah.
Okay.
I think I would.
Strange and Pitts over Kincaid?
Pitts for sure. Strange, probably not.
I'm higher on Strange. I'm a little higher on Britton Strange. Jordan Baker said, give me Strange.
I'd start Colston Loveland as well over Kincaid.
You would start rookie tight end Colston Loveland in his first matchup, Monday Night Football, over Kincaid.
Yeah. I think he hits big, right?
I don't hate it.
For me, Loveland, if he hits, he can hit big.
I don't hate that.
You could start Cade Otton over Kincaid. He's healthy.
Let me tell you right now, there's no way on earth we're about to end this show with how much you shit on Baker Mayfield at the start of this show to even suggest that we would start Cade Otton this week. There's no way, Jay Rich. Come on, man.
Jatavian Sanders.
Thank you for moving on.
Or Dalton Kincaid. You like JT Sanders. Just take him, man. Stop. Just take him. It's okay.
I like JT Sanders.
Kincaid's always hurt. He's not that good. He's just a guy. He's fine. Give me Hunter Henry over Kincaid.
I like Hunter Henry. All right.
Look at that. Some tight end talk down the show.
Whew. I know, Keegan. Acting like Kincaid is a certified bum. I'm with you, Keegan. I'm with you on this take of the many that you've dropped in the chat. We appreciate y'all being in the building. Hit the thumbs up button. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out the fantasy content on DDFFB. Stay locked in for college football content here. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Jay Rich, anything you want to say to people as we head into week 1? Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being with us all summer, right?
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. We appreciate it. Just enjoy the football, man. We're not going to overreact. We're not going to go crazy, but we're going to have a ton of fun on Monday because we got the pregame takes. And I am so excited for the post-game takes because it's going to be great. So enjoy football this weekend. Watch some of the college games. Check out all the NFL. And we'll be back on Monday. We out. Peace.